Night before I've got to be out of here. Landlady's round tomorrow. I should have left probably a day ago, but yeah, landlady's round tomorrow to do the final checks and that. So I'm off in the morning, so she doesn't know I've been here. My God, am I tired? It's been a long bloody day. Yeah, been a long week of work, and then got back and obviously frantically cleaning so that she doesn't pull us up too much and anything. I don't think there's anything too bad, but I don't know. There's been complaints from the residents nearby the site about the notice given for the crane that has to take away the like the dry room and loos are in a big prefab building basically, and the crane was going to take them away in preparation for the later parts of the build. But yeah, as I said, complaints from the local residents about the notice given, so the crane got cancelled. So the prefab building's going to be there until further notice, which is fantastic for me, because obviously a dry room is going to be pretty fucking good, because it has just started raining pretty fucking hard. And I read something earlier, can't remember when, about a very strong storm blowing in right now. So I'm incredibly pleased that I'm not going to be spending my first couple of nights out in the forest, right on the seafront, during one of the worst storms of, well, I think they said since 2013 on the headline, but I don't really know. Yeah. So I'm actually going to have somewhere that I know for sure is warm and dry, and out of the wind, which is supposedly a danger to health, as they say. So yeah, frantically sorting everything out so that it looks like I was never here. Yeah, not a lot else to say. It's only the Friday night, so I expect I'll be up most of the night sorting this house out, but we'll have to see, like, you know, can't remember what that is. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, or whatever it is. But I think a pound of cure might be quite a large charge on the deposit, so going to do my best to get rid of what's here. There's not much, but you know. Yeah, just so glad to not be out in that rain, because it's fucking bitter. Sweet. I'll update tomorrow, because tomorrow is the big, well, not the big push, but tomorrow is the move out and in sort of date, so it's going to be a little bit janky getting my bag on the bus and then getting to work and, you know, having to frantically come back and pretend I haven't been here so that the landlady can be happy. But yeah, it's going to happen. Got a shitload for the charity shop that I'm going to take out either tonight or tomorrow morning, not sure yet. Just leave it by one of the charity shops, because they take overnight deliveries, which is good. Repacking my bag as well. Realised, not that this really concerns you guys, but realised that I put my sleeping bag and sleeping stuff, which is like, you know, tarp, hammock, sleeping bag, bivvy bag, I put them on the bottom of my bag, as I usually do, because when I go away normally, there's quite a high chance that I'll be staying in someone's house. So I have it at the bottom as like a last ditch thing. But I'm realising I should probably have it at the top. It's got an opening at the arse end, my bag. I can't show you it right now. But yeah, so I'm going to have my clothes at the bottom, so that I can easily access them from the bottom, and then have my sleeping bag and stuff on top, so that that's more easily accessed, because I'm going to be needing to take it out and put it away a lot more often than the clothing, I think. Because obviously when I'm at work, I don't mind wearing the same trousers and shirt for a week, because it's dirty work, so, you know, whatever. Okay. Don't know where this is going to be recording from, because I've got headphones in. Part 1 is done. Bag is dropped off. There were people working there, more so than I thought, because I thought it was just going to be me and one other fella. But obviously, they don't want to let most of the site know what's going on, because preferential treatment and that. But yeah, I managed to move the bag over the border wall, and then walk around like I was just going in to sort out some paperwork, and they didn't seem to ask any questions, so I'm happy. Managed to stash it. Yeah, managed to stash it. Won't tell you where, because, you know, why would I? Yeah, nobody seems too bothered. Final bag weighed came at about 20 kilo. So I'm about 80 kilo, and then I weighed just over 100 with the bag on. So it's bloody heavy, and I ended up actually getting rid of the axe because it was too heavy and, well, it was breaking, frankly. So needs must. I will catch you on the flip side.
And then it has just whistled away eastwards across the Atlantic, driven by a really strong jet stream.
Over 281,000 homes experienced power cuts. Those who ventured out were confronted with treacherous conditions on the roads. Thank you.
Hello, sorry for the noise in the background. Seems that I've picked the wrong place to do this, but thought I'd give you an update. Plans have changed very rapidly, as I'm sure everybody can tell from what I'm hoping will be preceding minor videos from the last couple of days. There are some mad geese going on here. Right, what's happened? So, plan to stay at work has changed, basically. I am now in Manchester, so I went from Plymouth to Manchester yesterday. Basically what happened was I was staying in, I made it back to the site after, you know, after sorting my flat out and that. I snuck in, left my bag, snuck out to go grab some other bits that I realised I'd left behind and hand over the keys and that. And yeah, and then whilst I was waiting to meet someone basically to hand over the keys, and one of my friends notified me that it was a fight night yesterday. It would have been tomorrow on Saturday, so Sunday. And we basically had a joke about how north can I get in 3 hours or whatever it was, I can't remember, talking about him coming to pick me up. But yeah, whilst I was looking at how north I could get in 3 hours, I came upon the fact that coaches north were very cheap for the next day. So I ended up booking a coach, National Express, that left at 5 in the morning on Sunday. So I had a look at the bus timetable, realised that the earliest bus I could get back would be about 6 from the site, that is, because obviously the coach station was in the middle of town. So I made the elective decision that staying on site wasn't an option. So I went back in, snuck back in to get my bag and stuff. And yeah, I spent a few hours there charging my phone and like just having something to eat and that sort of thing, like just using the facilities basically, a bit of a kettle and a bit of a microwave so I could have a pot noodle and that. Yeah, and then I heard a lot of commotion on the site, somebody whacking about the Harris fencing and that, and I thought, oh god, something's wrong here, like I don't want to be caught. Like, obviously you don't want to be caught doing that sort of thing regardless, but you don't want to be caught by somebody else who's not meant to be there, because, you know, you can never know what that's going to happen. At least the police are generally just going to make you leave. So I went out and I checked, because obviously I was still working there at that point, and it turned out it was one of the residents of the local area who had just apparently broken in to have a look around. I hid because I recognised him, but I don't think I hid quite well enough because the police were called and they arrived fairly quickly. So long story short, me with my massive bag on, I had to work out where the police were coming from. Turns out they were coming from the main entrance that I snuck in through, and get that bag out and escape, which was very exciting. Yeah, managed to get out bloody quickly through a back entrance that I didn't actually know. Yeah, I knew vaguely about because I closed it up whilst I was at work. It was someone had broken in before, basically, and so I snuck out the same way that they broke in. Went to go get bus back, and ended up in Wetherspoons for quite a while. I didn't realise it was a like a party type thing going on, but you know, it was somewhere I could stay and just be out of the way a bit. I'm quite surprised that they didn't stop me with the bag. Hold on, I'm going to go back in just a sec. Slight change of scenery. A bit quieter here, and there's a lot less people walking by. I'm still not used to the whole filming in front of people thing. What did I say? Yeah, in the Wetherspoons with my bag, which ended up actually getting taken by security because they thought it was a bomb. So got that back in the end. It was a long one. I was in there for about 6 hours talking to Navy guys and like whoever wanted to chat to a guy sitting on his own drinking beer. It suited me. Yeah, and then I spent the night near the coach station. Found a good place to bed down and just kind of, you know, I've got warm clothes on, so I just got inside and out of that bloody storm because that was fucking horrible. Yeah, slept there until about 5, on and off obviously because, you know, loads of people walking through. Got on the coach. Coach unfortunately was massively delayed because the driver failed a fucking breathalyzer test, which is hilarious. Obviously not really hilarious, but you know, ironic, maybe. I don't know what the word is. And ended up getting there just as all the fights had finished, which is a real shame because I would have quite liked to catch that, as one of my friends got a knockout win and the other one lost in points but did a fantastic job doing it. Yeah. So the main reason I went actually never ended up happening, which was a little bit annoying, but you know, here we are. Yeah, and that obviously resulted in a good party, so I had a good time there. Ended up not spending very much at all, which is lucky, because obviously money is a bit of a premium when you have just moved from the furthest south city in the country to one of the furthest north. So yeah, exciting. What else has happened? Yeah, so now I'm staying with a friend, 2 friends, just for a couple of days, just because, you know, obviously it's fucking freezing in the wake of that storm, and I don't have anywhere else to be right now. So, what's going to happen after that is my other friend, who is currently indisposed, he's going to come back, pick me up, and whisk me away to glorious Sheffield. Because I'm going to stay with him for a bit, because we have a really good laugh when we stay together, because I did a week at his November, I think, can't remember, but it was fucking fantastic. Like, we just get on like a house on fire, so it's good. I'm gonna get back into training because there's apparently a fight night in April that I'm really excited to hopefully get into. Yeah, so that's the personal goals for the next little bit. I gave a call to my work agency that were sorting me out down south. They were very nice. Like, in their words, I'm one of the best they've had, so they were really accommodating, and they're going to send me through my last paycheck on Thursday, which is good. I'm hoping for about 300 quid, but we'll have to see. And they're happy to give me a reference, which is the big thing, because obviously there's so much labour work up here, like, and the pay is almost twice what I was on down south, so it just makes sense for me to be here, really. So yeah, ideally from Manchester, go to Sheffield, labour job, training. Then I don't know. I'm gonna have to work out what I'm doing with the interview in the end of February, because that was obviously, that's in Bristol, and Bristol's a bit of a trek for me from here, at least. Yeah, the bag is way too heavy. Way too heavy. I didn't realise how heavy it was. Obviously, it's pretty much the weight that I usually have when I go travelling, but this is different kind of travelling, if you get what I mean. Like, I can't be lugging 30 odd kilo around every day, especially not if if I'm staying in a wood and going to work, then I'll have to walk to and from the site, and probably most likely end up having to put up and take down my camp every day. And if it's 5 miles walk, I don't want to be walking 5 miles with that fucking thing on my back, to be honest. So I'm having to think about how I can cut down on weight. The axe is already gone, obviously, because it broke. Probably a good time for it to break, really. So I'm thinking that it'd probably be the best if I got rid of some clothes, because I've got quite a bit of clothing, yeah, I don't know. I'm having a think. It's probably going to change when I'm in Sheffield because I've got a long time to kind of just sit around and figure it out. Because obviously I'm staying with a mate. Yeah, got Jorvik Festival in a bit. That'll be a laugh. Some of my friends are going to that, so I'm gonna go plait my beard and pretend to be a Viking, which will be fun. Yeah. I don't really know what else to talk about, to be honest. What's been good? Well, I don't think I've really quite appreciated how good it is that I could just put my back on and go. Like, that is so cool. I was stuck in Plymouth for a long time because I had we had a housing contract and that kind of stuff, and the ability to just be like, I fancy being in Manchester now was really cool, because despite the delays and despite the fact that I missed everything, I'm now somewhere else. I'm having a good time being somewhere else because I'm seeing people that I haven't seen for quite a while, and it's really nice. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that, I expect, just up sticks and fucking off 100 miles away or whatever. I think it was actually 300 miles that I've moved this time, which is pretty cool. Negatives. Bag heavy, bag very, very heavy. It's heavy bag. Yeah. I guess that's it. Obviously money worries, but you know, who doesn't have money worries? And to be honest, it's cheaper than if I'd lost my job and I had a flat. Because all I've got to really worry about is making sure I've got the payment for the loan at the end of the month, which is a while away, and making sure I've got enough money to eat, which is fairly easy when, you know, fresh produce, you can get a pepper for like 20p. Like, a pepper is lovely. Don't know why I'm talking about pepper, but you know, you can get fresh produce really cheap, and it's good for you to eat, obviously. What else? Probably going to stop smoking soon, because obviously there's that fight soon, and I want to win, ideally. So smoking is probably going to go. Don't know what else is going on. Just winging it, to be honest. Having a bit of an explore. Really not used to filming in front of people. Any other negatives? Someone asleep. That's a big negative. I didn't realise how much of a negative it was, because obviously it's all well and good being an adventurer and walking around and getting to do whatever the fuck I want, but in Plymouth I was in trouble. Like, only now am I kind of realising how much trouble I was in. That storm that I didn't want to get caught in, I got caught right in the middle of, and now feeling the wake of the storm and how fucking cold it is, if I had missed my coach, if I hadn't managed to sleep inside, if any number of things had happened, I would have been in some real fucking trouble. Like, wet through and in what is probably about 2 degrees, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that would have been a game over situation, I think. So I think going forward, what have I learned? I am going to try to make sure that, one, I have a safe place to sleep if everything goes to shit, and two, just learn to sleep better in weird places. Like, obviously the homeless people don't bother me because they think I'm one of them, which I guess I am, but people don't move me on too quickly because I don't look too rough, luckily. So yeah, I don't want to sleep on the streets, because obviously that's a really good way to catch a cold, but yeah, I just need to find somewhere that's fairly close to some woodland, because if I'm going to be out, I want to be camping. Okay, sorry about that, hard cut. Yeah, sleeping bag, all that kind of shit. I'll be able to get out of the rain much easier as well, and obviously being in a forest is nice. I like being in a forest. There's obviously wild edibles and stuff like that if I end up feeling a bit poor. Sheffield is great for this because it has the Peak District, or the Lake District, I think it's the Peak District, right next to it, which is fucking fantastic, because obviously you're not really supposed to camp there, but, you know, rules are more guidelines, to be honest, and if I'm going to be anywhere, I might as well be in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Definitely no complaints from me. Yeah, so it'll be Sheffield, probably pop to York for a bit, because I like York. I'd quite like to go north at some point, but I don't really know anyone north yet, so I'll have to work that out when I get to it. I want a bit more money, I think, is the main thing. Leaving this job early has meant that I'm behind on finances. Not like in trouble or anything like that, but I'm not going to have the massive boost of the money from that job. So I'm going to have to make that up somehow, probably by working. That's how most people make money. But yeah, so it's all going quite well, to be honest. I am still awkward as fuck filming because I don't really know how. All good. Quite happy. Quite hungover, to be honest. But yeah, having a good time. Having a really good time. Cool. I'll catch you guys next week. See you later.